Oh, can you hear me? Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Harada Yasuo Tsumeshogi session. If you're not familiar with the format, if you wish to take a try at solving the problem, if you're in Twitch, please send me a whisper, or if you're on 81 Dojo, you can send me a PM so that other people can't see. And if you happen to be in the 81 Dojo room where I'm making the moves, please refrain from drawing arrows. Thank you. As usual, we'll begin with the shorter Tsumeshogi problems. Hi. Throw a snowball. Yeah, let me know you're there. And remember, if you want a hint, just ask. Or if you wait about 5 minutes, then I'll start giving hints. Okay. So the theme of this problem is double check. この問題のテーマは両手です。 Okay, let's start out with a move that doesn't work. After this check, simply blocking, king comes up, and there's no good way to continue the checks. So one of the features that we have to keep in mind is this bishop hitting the 1-3 square. Of course, right now it's being blocked by the knight. But if the king were on 1-3, this knight promote would be double check. So we want to force the king to 1-3, and we do that by dropping the gold here. King comes up. And now you see this pawn is attacking the bishop, but this knight sacrifice is a double check, which means he's being checked by 2 pieces. And so he has no time to take the bishop because he's still being attacked by that promoted knight. So he's forced to take. And now effect made by dropping the gold. And show that again. Double check. Mate. We'll load the next problem. Okay, so when we're looking at this problem, we take notice of this 2-3 square where the pawn is. And if we can visualize just a bit, if this pawn were on 2-4 instead, that would stop the king from escaping this way. And you'd be able to mate by dropping a silver here. So we have to ask ourselves, how do we get to that position? Okay. So we want to vacate this, well, clear this square, this 2-3 square for the silver drop. So we drop the knight here. If the king runs up, there's mate this way. If pawn takes, it not only clears the square, but it also blocks the king from going up, which is very important, as we'll see in a moment. Now the mate goes this way. King can't go there because of the pawn. Okay, show that again. Mate. Okay, load the next one. Yes, you really should try to figure it out and send me a whisper. Let me know what you're thinking. Don't just take it in passively. When doing Tsumeshogi, one of the things that you absolutely fight against is passive learning. To do problems is to try to solve them actively. Well, we're about 2/3 through the first month of the new year. How has it been treating you? Okay. So has anyone made New Year's resolutions for 2018? I don't know, for me, it's almost, what's the point? Because I always never do it. Maybe some of the viewers can relate. Hopefully not, though. Ah, Chris, your first move isn't check. Yeah, since this is Tsumeshogi, every move has to be check. Or every move of blacks has to be check. Yeah, you don't give him a moment's respite. One move is like 1,000 moves. Yeah, right after New Year's Day, when I was in bed. Oh, wait, someone just came. Let me say hi to him. Oh, he left. Yeah, well, I was lying in bed and I noticed my right calf was kind of sore and it felt like a muscle strain. And then when I got up, I noticed that my right knee was also swollen. And then my dad had me go down to the ER to make sure there was no blood clot. I got an ultrasound done, and luckily it came back negative. So so the next day, um, I was kind of limping around, and then after that, the next day after that, I was okay, and then after that, it got worse again. And when I finally got to see the doctor, he said that what I had was a cyst that had ruptured, and the fluid went down into my leg, so it ended up feeling like a muscle strain. Yeah, it was an internal cyst, so nothing gross to see. Because if it had been outside, I would have surely, you know, recorded it on video to post on YouTube because it would be gross. Uh, so I hope your 2018 is going better than mine so far. Okay. Okay, we'll look at that first. If check, the king runs up this way, and he said 2-1 dragon, right? After that, the king will take this knight, and you see he has all this area up the board, and he probably wouldn't want to run down, but you know, that is an option. It's safest to go to these 3 squares. So the king escapes here. But if the king runs here, he's going to try to escape this way. He said this. Okay, he'll probably, if he pushes here, then takes this way. So I mean, all of this is kind of moot because of he just takes here. But just to show you, this doesn't seem to be mate either. Yeah, well, you know, he wouldn't do any of that. He'd just take here. So when we're looking at this position, one of the things we always look at is escape routes, like this. I mean, we do see this check. It's a natural move because you know, he can't block because the knight's also attacking the square. But once the king comes up here, you have to worry about this. So is there a way to stop him from escaping like that? So one of the really common themes in Tsumeshogi is sacrificing a piece on the root of the escape. Of course, on 2-2 that won't work. So that leaves 1-3, right? Like this. Now, if he blocks like this, there's a simple mate this way. If here, simple takes. So that leaves this lance capture. And then we look at this. He can no longer go to the 1-3 square, but he can go to, it looks like he can go to the 3-3 square. But we have the bishop, we still have the bishop in hand. So after we promote, king comes up. and we do this check. See, stopping him from going to 3-3. Then king over, and then mate. See this. Okay. Okay, we can show that again. Sacrifice on the escape route. Stop him from going to 3-3. And mate. Good. Okay, we can load the next one. So looking at this problem, it kind of looks like the first problem we looked at today. You notice? It has this bishop and the knight again. So we can tell that there's going to be a similar theme here, or it suggests that there's going to be a similar theme here. Let me quickly see. Let me quickly load up that first problem that we went over just to refresh your memory. It was this one. Remember this double check? This theme. So we want to remember that this double check. Okay, any ideas? Okay, let's see. Check, takes, check. It says, I assume you mean king to 3, right? Okay. And then now what? 2, 2 here. And then now? What's the last move? Step back. Here. Okay, I thought he's gonna take, yeah. You see, it's the same position, only that the gold, he doesn't have the gold in hand. So, what did we do in the first problem that we looked at? Remember? Yes. Double check and mate. Okay, show it again. Check. If the king goes here, there's a mate this way. If here, then there's a mate that way or this way. So the king must take, then check up here, check, and mate, double check. Good. Load the next one. in this problem. This 3-6 pawn is very, very important. What kind of moves are you calculating? Let me know. Well, what specifically? They might not all be bad. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Because if the gold drop, the king runs up here. And I don't know, what, something like this? Really pawn takes. Yeah, there's not going to be enough. You can just run here. So this doesn't work. What else? We'll do it by process of elimination, okay? Okay, this obviously doesn't work. It simply takes. Likewise, this doesn't work. No way to continue the checks. He can either block or run. In either case, there's not enough to mate. He can also take, so that won't work. So what does that leave? You mean 1-3, right? 1-3, yeah. Yeah. So that means we have to decide if it's going to be a silver or gold. What do you think? Try silver. Okay. Now, if the knight takes, there'll be a simple mate like this. So the king has to take. Now the problem is how do you continue the checks? If this way, he's just gonna push here. If this, he can simply take either way. If here, he can take this way. So notice this square. 2-3 gold. The 2-3 square is here. Do you mean 2-4? Two four, okay. 2-4 gold. Okay, he can take with the pawn. Yeah, the checks kind of disappeared. Okay, we can go back. You notice in this position, there's this 2-2 square open. And aren't you feeling right about now if I only had a silver? Yep. If I only had the silver. So that leaves the gold, right? Okay. King takes. Now we do this check, right? If the king runs back, how do you finish it? Yes. Sacrifice on the escape square. Now that it's blocked, is mate. So after 2-2 silver, the only move is for the king to run up. Oh, you missed a knight? Oh, you. uh, yeah, so how to continue? We of course have to look at the king's Nigamichi. Nigamichi is the path that the king runs. And from here, he's going to try to go here. Is there a way to stop it? Okay. Well, let's go through a couple of moves. One kind of obvious looking move is this, but the king runs here, and you notice that the rook defends against any more drops very well. So that won't work. Don't forget this pawn over here is also an attacker. Here on 3-5. If he does that, the king will run this way. See? What square? Can't chase the king. I don't quite understand what you're trying to tell me. Okay. The king will also run this way, and there's no way to continue the checks. So, taking into account this, drum roll. Okay, here. Yeah. So you see now text this way too. So if king up, then there's this mate here. So if takes, then there's this mate here. Okay, silver stops him. Yeah, 3-4 horse. Okay, well, show that again. Okay. Must be the gold. So you can use the silver here. And mate. Or mate. Did you have any questions? know. Okay, I can load the next one. No. Okay. Okay, so for this one, notice that this silver prevents the king from going that way. It's very vital to solving this problem. So when I'm looking at this problem, one of the things I'm thinking about is this edge, because that's a weak point of this formation. Notice if the lance goes up, then this gold drop here would be made immediately. Okay, yeah, so far so good. We can show it on the board. So king must take. Okay. Then this check is the only move. So king here. But 4-3 horse. He's just going to block it like that. No way to continue the attack. This is way too solid. So you remember these two generals are strength. So you want to strike him where he's weak. Yes. Takes, and then okay. Would you agree that the next move has to be a lance drop? Your first move, no. Yeah. So if you do agree that it has to be a lance drop, then there's only two squares that you could drop it. So what happens if you drop it on 1, 2? That, yes. Okay, it must be 1, 3. Because if 1, 2, he simply runs and there's no way to continue. But you instead drop it one square back so it can promote on the next move. Right. So this is a distance thing. Now if I goma, you simply take. So here, and then, so the lance becomes your gold to mate. Yeah. Okay, we're going to show that again. This is really beautiful, just all striking at the weak points of the position. And then distance over, and then mate. Good, good. Yeah. Okay. Make it count. So we're looking at that, right? Sort of the latent power of this bishop. But there's two other pieces in the way. So how do we clear it up? Okay, let me just eliminate one variation. This would be hope chess. Hoping for this, right? But we don't play hope chess. Because with the correct move, he's just going to take with the king. So we can eliminate that immediately. You know your third move, what is that? Is that a knight? Okay. Check. We can, since this knight's hitting here, the only move is to take. Now the diagonal is open. Okay, so what did you want to do next? Here, this is double check. So the king must take. Okay, now what? Now we have this entire thing open, right? Ah, okay, if you drop the silver on 2-3 now, what happens if, I mean, he's going to be forced to take it with the gold, right? Yeah, gold takes. Then you'll have one silver in hand. Horse to 4-2. 4-2 is here. There's no dragon. This is a bishop. This is a promoted bishop. Yeah, that's why I was drawing the diagonal. Remember, you wanted to break open the diagonal? Okay, so here, I'd ask you a question. What if the gold weren't here? The gold is defending the 2-3 square. So what if the gold, imagine the gold wasn't on the board. What move would you play? Yeah. Well, you if the gold weren't there, you'd play 2-3 silver. 3-3 king, 3-4 horse, mate. So we ask ourselves, is there a way to distract the gold from defending that 2-3, so the 2-3 point? How can you distract the gold? Okay, so we want to stop him from doing that. If the gold were here, here, or here, it would no longer be defending the 2-3 square, right? Is there a way to force the gold to one of those squares? Okay. Another thing we have to remember, don't forget the token. Yeah, check. Now if king up, there's this. So the only thing left is for the gold to take. After which, 2-3 silver. King up. And then there's this mate here. Token stops the king from running here. Okay, I'll show that one more time. Okay, we want to break open this diagonal. Check. Takes. Double check. Takes. Check. Takes. Check. Up. And mate. Good. Good. Yeah. So are you going to call it a night? Yeah, you're very welcome. I hope this helped. I know it was kind of, uh, I don't, yeah, I don't want to say anything that's uncharitable, but it's important that we do this kind of thing. There's uh, people who look at these things from all sorts of levels, so I'm really glad that you joined us, and I hope you learned something. Anyway, have a good night. Yeah, join us again later on after you've gotten some rest. Yeah, take care. And for the rest of the viewers who are still here, we're going to do one last problem. Nope, not that one. This. Last problem for tonight. You can see this is a Yagura shape. Another thing we can see is there's going to be some kind of discovered check when the bishop moves. As soon as the bishop moves somewhere, there's going to be a check this way. That's what we call discovered check. Okay, I'll give you guys about a minute to consider, and then I'll give another hint. Okay. So again, we see that this edge area is the weak point of his formation. This is the strong part, so we want to avoid that completely. So one move that we can eliminate immediately is bishop somewhere along this diagonal. He'll just block. And there's no good way to continue. Likewise, if you go the other way, king takes, and there's this, aside from there being no other meaningful checks, the king threatens to take this way. So you can eliminate those two moves. So that leaves the pawn and the bishop. This won't work. King escapes this way. Also, there's this, and there's no more checks. So that leaves the bishop drop here. Yeah. Takes, promotes, takes, check, stopping him from escaping up the board. And only now we do this one. It's a double check. See, this way and this way. Oh, not in time. Got him. Okay. Show that again. Double check. And mate. Okay, that was the last problem for today. So thank you for the viewers who joined us today. Uh, if you if you like the stream and wish to support it, you can contact me at alexi2539@gmail.com. You can also send your comments or questions there. I'm always happy to hear what others have to say regarding my stream. And if you haven't already, please register for a Twitch account and follow me, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I archive a lot of my streams and also post regular lecture videos that aren't archived on Twitch. Please let others know about this. We're a small community, and I really wish to see it grow, and word of mouth is one of the best ways to do it. So if you like this, please tell your friends about it. Tell them to follow, and I will post the next time I'll be on in my uh, Twitch on the events section. But also, uh, please note that I sometimes do unscheduled streams as well. So if you're following me and have your notifications set to allow you to know when I'm on, even during those impromptu streams, then that'll be good. So again, thank you, and I will see you later. Goodbye.